Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm just this is another Yokomo YD2 slide rack that I'm gonna install. But as I'm sure if you're aware, I already have a YD2 slide rack install video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to adjust it, because there's a few concerns that it's too loose or that it's too tight. And there is a way to adjust it. I'm just gonna build it. Obviously I'm gonna time lapse it because, like I said, I already have a video on me building it. So I'm just gonna install it on this chassis here. Put my shell to the side. Alright, so I'm gonna install it on my YD2 base here. I have as you can see, I have the quick release, which I love, because when I need to do maintenance or just oil, I always change it, because I don't use the oil that comes in the kit. So having the quick release here, just to make sure everything's good running, double checking it's perfect. And I have the aluminum steering, which I like, which as you can see, that's my full lock right there. Alright, so it works perfectly fine, but I'm gonna upgrade it just to the slide rack. So again, this is all gonna be time lapsed, and then I'll just show you a quick little video of what I mean about adjusting the slide rack so it's not too loose and it's not too tight. Because if it's too loose and there's too much play, then it's no good. And then if it's too tight, then all you're doing is causing damage to the servo, making the servo work harder than it needs to. Right? So I'm just gonna show you what I mean after I build it. So I'm just gonna start a time lapse from here, because obviously you don't need to see the whole build. But if you want to see the build, like I said, just go back in one of my videos and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, so enjoy the time lapse, guys. Okay, so here, this is the part where you can adjust your slide rack to be tighter or looser, right? So right here, as you can see, I don't know if you could tell, right? I don't know if I can turn this angle, maybe it is. You see, I have a lot of play. See how loose it is, right? So the way you adjust your slide rack is you adjust it by these here. If you pay close attention, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. I don't know. Let me see if I can. Not really. I can't really zoom in, guys. Sorry. I record everything on my GoPro. That's the best I could do. Is these ones here have a small little notch on the corners. There's one there. There's the other one there. And the other one is in this corner right there. There's a small little notch. And if you look at it closely, where you tighten it, it's not centered. Like the screws, the holes where my 2mm hex goes in is not centered. It's offset. So when I turn it, it just, so pretty much what I'm doing is when I turn it, instead of going straight, I'm turning it and my hex is moving in a circle like this, or the screwdriver is moving in a circle like this. so that way it tightens it. So that's how you adjust, right? So see how so it's loose, right? So I'm gonna, right now they're all, this one's pointing this way, this one's pointing that way, this one's pointing this way. So right now they're all different lengths. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this guy centered by just turning him, right? Oh, I gotta loosen up a bit. And this is where you need two 2mm, one for the other side, to help you tighten it. What you do is, so I'm gonna put it down right there. I'm gonna go to the other side and tighten this one. Oh, that's all right. Just tightening it here, there. So now the middle one here is facing straight down towards the servo. So this one's facing down now. So I'm gonna make this one face inside, and I'm gonna make this one face the inside as well. That way I can start all in the same. And the part that sucks too is now that these are, once you set these guys up, you adjust everything from the other side. So this is one of the other defaults that I hate about the slide rack, is once you put these guys on, you can't get to these screws here anymore unless you take these guys off. The only one you have adjustability for is the front one, right? You can see full access to it there and here. But to get to these ones, I have to take these guys off. So I'm gonna do that here, just to make it easier, just to show you guys. That's why nothing's super tight. It's just everything is just on there loose. Oh, there we go. So I'm just gonna just take that guy off. There we go. Just so I can show you guys. Right, so it's still, you can still see the slop. Alright, you guys still see the slop, I hope. Alright, so this guy is, like I said, I have him facing down. He's facing that way. He's facing that way. So I'm going to turn him to face in here and him to face in here as well. So they're all going to face centered. So what you do is I turn this guy here, and it'll turn. Loosen up a bit. And I face him towards the middle. There you go. And now this guy here, I'm just gonna turn him. So as I see as I'm turning, he's turning. There you go. So I'm gonna tighten him back up right there. So now I have them all facing in towards the middle. So now I got like a diamond shape. I got a diamond shape now. Right, and now as you can tell, oh, see, now I have no slop whatsoever. I got no slop at all. But the only downside is it might be too tight. Yeah, see, now it's not moving free. If I push with my fingers, it moves nice. It doesn't move, it's not tight. It's not tight at all. It's nice and smooth. Alright, so I'm not forcing this. And as you can see, as I said, I'm just going to hold here and hold here, so I'm not holding any bearings. There's no slop. Alright, see that? All by me just making this guy face middle, he face towards the middle here, he face towards the middle. So I got a diamond shape. That's how you adjust your slide rack. So if you do find that it's too tight, like if I have to force this left and right, which right now I'm not, it's actually going pretty good. But I still prefer it if it moved on its own a little bit. There you go. See, so that one there's just a tight. I want it to come all the way down. I like it with gravity, for gravity to move. There you go. Right. So for me, so now I would adjust the top one. So you just loosen up the top one a little bit. So now he's not facing dead middle anymore. He's not facing straight down anymore. He's actually facing a little bit to my left. Right, so he's just a little bit to it. Oh, I forgot to tighten it back up after I loosened it. I'm gonna tighten it. So now instead of him, so this guy's still going that way. He's still going that way. And instead of the middle one going straight down to make a diamond shape, now I have this guy going slightly degrees that way. So he's pretty much facing the bearing over here now. And now, oh, look at that. Now it's real loose, see? That's the way I like my slide rack. Or that's the way I like my steering to be. But now I need to see if I have any slop. Look at that. I got like no slop. Yeah, I got no slop. And it moves freely. Alright. So that's how you adjust your slide rack. Okay, I don't know if I don't believe it's in the instructions, and if it is in the instructions, it's not in English, as far as I know. But I don't really read instructions that well. Also, if you do read the instructions to install it, it wouldn't tell you to install how I'm doing it right here, like this, getting it all ready. The reason I do it like this is because I like to get everything ready, and then I put it in there, because you still have to center your servo. So it's easier for me to center my servo when I have everything here loose, right? So I'm gonna just reinstall this, and then I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by centering my servo. So I'm gonna do another quick time lapse here just to get everything ready. Servo, it's quite simple, really. Just plug in your ESC, make sure you don't crisscross, right? Positive, negative. Right, and then you turn on your remote first. I got my 7PX, of course. Make sure you have it in your right. Well, I have different cars, right? So I have to make sure I put it in my right one here. And then to center your servo, you turn on the ESC, and then you center out your servo. So now my servo is centered. Oh, I'm in the wrong way. So now my servo is centered, and you put it in. So there you go. So that's centered. You might, depending on the servo, you might have you might be in a slight degree this way, slight degree that way. It's very rare to have a servo that's actually centered, right? You know what I mean? So it's always going to be a little bit off, but that's where your EPA comes in on your remote, right? So just trim the EPA a little to your left or to your right. If you have to trim your EPA like 100%, 90%, anything more than 30%, go back to your servo, center it, and make sure you put your arm like as centered as straight as you can to the servo. So mine's just a tad over, so if I turn it to the next two to the right, it'll be the same. It'll be a little tad over to the right. So that's centered for me there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna, I don't know if you guys want to see me do this install part, so I'm just gonna do another time lapse of this part here. So once you have it centered, you turn it off. So it is the next day. I didn't get to well, let's just say I got kids. That's what happened. So I was gonna say I was gonna show my next show, but instead I ended up just finishing the show I was working on, right? Because this is the next day, so I just did it earlier, and I forgot. Oh yeah, I should have recorded that. But so I ended up fixing my steering. So as you can see now, it's pretty much where I need it to be. All I need now is go to the track and do my measurements, my camber, my toe in. But as you can see, now I got perfect lock to lock, right? So the only thing I am missing, or the thing that I need to do for my setup, is that this ball joint here, if you, I don't know if the light, if you can pick it up, but it has like an L, so it goes out and then it curves in, but obviously this one's going that way and then curving down. So when I go full, it rubs on it right there, it rubs on it. So obviously I need to change this one on both sides, of course, to be straight like this. Like this one was just a straight arm, so that way it won't rub when I go full lock to lock. So that's all I need to change. But this is pretty much what the finished product looks like, as you can see. All right, I don't need more angles I can show you. Straight on. All right, a little bit of toe out, as you can see. Not too much, not too little, just enough for me. Well, enough for my eyeball. I gotta go to the track and test drive it, right? I gotta tune it. Already got new steering, like I said, so still gotta change those arms. Not the arms, just the knuckles there on both sides. I gotta change, but I'm pretty happy with that. And the one thing you do need is like I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday, but you do need a spacer there. I believe it's like a I think it's like a 5mm is the one that I'm using there to get to where I want it in my angle. It's a silver arrow. It's a silver 5mm, so you can't really see it, but you know, I'm so sorry the camera can't pick it up. I use a GoPro, like I said. But yeah, this is pretty much what a finished product looks like, right? So this is the second one that I've done, and yeah. So the one thing I did as well, I forgot to mention. I did this all, like I said, I did all this off camera, which I totally forgot I should record it. Was that my servo, because it's a tall one. When I turn the, what do you call it? The oh my god, I lost the word for it. The servo horn. That's it. The servo horn. When you turn, it would hit my lower arms, where not the arms, where the arms are going into, where they're holding. I forgot the name of them now. Shoot, the lower mounts, I guess. I think it's the mounts. It goes across the chassis here. The lower mounts that holds the lower arms. It would hit it. So what I had to do was ended up putting a spacer on my servo here, right there. Oh, if I can pick it up. I put a spacer right in there, so you can see my 2mm almost goes all the way through. Actually, it does. It goes all the way in. I put a 2mm spacer in there, so you can see it goes all the way in to lift it. So that way my arm now will clear. So now when I turn, it's not hitting, because before it was hitting this. Right. So that depends on the servo you have. My other one is a smaller servo than this one, so I don't have that issue. On this one, it had that issue, and I was like, oh crap. Because then I would go this way, and it would hit, and I'd be like, oh, I can't hit, and then I won't be able to go all the way. And this way I was going all the way, and this one was hitting, so I realized, oh, I got to raise my servo up a little bit. Now I got all the way. No problem. Alright, so the next video I'm going to show you, I guess I'll do a running video. Actually, no, this chassis, this will be a build. This chassis will be a build one. So the next video will be, I'm going to do the rear motor. Right now I have a rear ESC mount. I made this myself. Well, not myself. I designed myself, and I got my team is a 3D printer. I had this, I know you probably won't believe me, but I had this way before the rear ESC system came into play. So, right, but I have my own. So what I'm going to try is I'm going to end up trying the rear motor conversion kit. So this will be for the next video. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this update on this chassis. Like I said, this is a YD2, just a YD2S, and then it's all just upgraded parts. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, just feel free to comment. I always respond to any comments I get. I will always respond.